Hello and welcome to Recharge Wrestling. We're here to plug you into the world of professional wrestling. I'm Fisher and I'm here today to predict all the shows from the weekend, although I'm going to do it in two videos. So this video is going to be for WWE Night of Champions and NXT Battleground. I will also do a AEW Double or Nothing predictions video, which I'll probably upload separately later on the channel, maybe tomorrow or Saturday. And Keeney is also going to probably do one at some point as well. So plenty of content coming for you regarding those pay-per-views and giving our thoughts. Obviously, our predictions league. Follow us at Recharge Wrestle on Twitter to join it. That is WWE main roster pay-per-views only. So we'll be predicting Night of Champions there. But I'm doing NXT and Double or Nothing just for fun as well, because I just feel like why not? Give these pay-per-views some attention. We don't cover that much NXT. We don't cover enough AEW. And they are big shows, so it's interesting having three pay-per-views in one weekend. Anyway, NXT and Double or Nothing on the same day as well. So it's going to be a lot to watch, a lot to catch up on, but hopefully we'll have some review content as well once we've watched it. But yeah, we'll have to see how that goes, I suppose. So let's get into it. Let's start with NXT Battleground, and I'll do Night of Champions afterwards. So the card for this, 6 matches, some good matches on the card as well. So we've got Ilya Dragunov versus Dijak in a last man standing match. My prediction there is, first of all, that it will be a banger. This could be a great match, probably still the show. And I'm going to go for Ilya to win. I just feel like he needs a big win. He should be going for the title sooner or later, the main title. Dijak has obviously been on the main roster, come back down, is great as well, but I feel like Ilya is the future. So yeah, Ilya to win for me. Gallus versus the Creed brothers for the NXT Tag Team Championships. This is a hard one to call. Gallus have had a decent run with the tag titles, but I don't feel like anyone that really cares about them that much. The tag division feels a bit weaker on NXT now than it did. Obviously, they've lost Pretty Deadly as well in the call-ups to the main roster. Creed brothers, for me, are one of the best tag teams in NXT. So if anyone's going to beat Gallus, you'd think it would be them. So I'm going to go for the Creed brothers to win the NXT tag team titles here, although I'm really not sure. It could go either way. It could also be the Creed brothers, lose and get called up to the main roster soon. Noam Dar versus Dragon Lee for the Heritage Cup. Cool that they've brought the Heritage Cup in. I'm not sure about the rules for. I've seen it. I know what the rules are, but I'm not sure. I like the rounds matches, but Dragon Lee is awesome, isn't he? We've seen him, pop up on AEW, and now he's signed for WWE, and he's in NXT, and he is great. And Noam Dar is good as well, and kind of underappreciated. And I'm glad he's finally getting sort of pay-per-view matches, and he's back on TV rather than, obviously he was in NXT UK for a long time, and that's been gone for a while now. So it's good to see him back. And again, I'm going to go for a new champion here. Maybe brave to go for 2 new champions in a row there. But Dragon Lee shouldn't be losing at this point. He's, the next star, one of the big stars in NXT. They've brought him in for a reason. He should be winning this match, I think, unless you have him maybe cheated out of it and he goes for the main title, something, or the North American title. But I think he wins this. That's my gut feeling, is that Dar's come over and he's going to lose. Wesley versus Tyler Bate versus Joe Gacy for the NXT North American Championship. The story here really is between Lee and Bate. They had a friendship, but then Bate kind of went behind Lee's back, and now they've fallen out. And Joe Gacy's kind of been stirring the pot. He's like the big heel in this. Interesting, because obviously the champion doesn't have to be pinned to lose, which quite often they do. Title changes when they do that. But I am going to go for Wesley to retain, I think, on this one. Like I say, it's not point. There's no points on the board here anyway, so I'm literally just doing it for fun. I don't think Joe Gacy needs to win this title. Tyler Bate could win it, but I just think keep it on Wes for now. And maybe Gacy takes the pin. Maybe you get a Wesley Tyler Bate one-on-one match down the line. Could make it interesting. But yeah, lots of this could be a really good match as well. There's a lot of good matches on this card. But yeah, Wes to win. A new champion guaranteed in the NXT Women's Championship match. Lyra Valkyria versus Tiffany Stratton for the NXT Women's Championship. Maybe not the final I was expecting. I kind of thought Tiffany might get there. I wasn't expecting Lyra to get there, but I guess they wanted a face and a heel. Tiffany beating Roxanne Perez, of course, the former champion. Lyra Valkyria beating Cora Jade. They could have gone Cora and Roxanne face to face again if they wanted to put the belt on one of them, but clearly not. Roxanne also taken out by the mysterious hooded figure after the match, which I think is going to be Blair Davenport, but I don't know. But that's my guess. Where she comes into this match, I don't know. She might interfere or take out the champion after or something like that. But I think it's Tiffany's time, isn't it? I don't see Valkyria winning the title. I just don't think she needs it. I think she can put on a good match for Stratton here. But I don't think she is over enough to be the champion. I think Tiffany makes sense. And she's improved so much in the year or so that she's been in NXT that, yeah, I think she kind of deserves it, actually. And then Bron Breakker versus Carmelo Hayes in the main event for the NXT title. I can only see one outcome here, and that's Carmelo winning. Bron's just lost the title to Carmelo, and I think this is Bron's sort of last hurrah on NXT. I think it's only a matter of time before he gets called up. Maybe he'll get called up straight away and be at Money in the Bank, or by SummerSlam he'll be on the main roster. But yeah, I think Bron will be on the main roster sooner rather than later. Now he's turned heel. I think he's better suited to it. And Carmelo's just started his run and needs a long, decent title reign. So yeah, Carmelo's going to win, but the match will be good, I'm sure. So that's NXT, and then Night of Champions, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 matches confirmed for that. Obviously, if any are added later on, I will add them to my Twitter predictions. But the 7 matches confirmed at the moment. Let's talk about them. So Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. It's an interesting one. I've been into the feud. I've been liking Trish's promos. Do they go more than one match here is the question, isn't it? Because if they're going for a series, then Trish could win the first match and Becky could win a rematch. But if they're doing a one and done, then I think Becky's definitely winning. So it's just where I see this booking going. And I'm going to say that Becky's going to win this. I just think it's a safer bet to go for the legend putting over the star. And Becky doesn't lose very often, especially clean. Obviously, you could have an interference in this match. You could have Lita return or something like that in here. But I think Becky just wins it clean. I think that's what's going to happen. Bianca Belair versus Asuka is an interesting one. Belair has been the champion for a very long time, and I think they could be due a title change soon. But will it be Asuka? My gut feeling says no, because I think they would have just done it at WrestleMania if they were going to do it. So I'm going to say that Bianca retains against Asuka. And then the third women's match on the card, Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. This is a simple one. I think Rhea wins this comfortably. I think it'll be a squash match. Natalya is in the match, I think, because she's worked a lot of the Saudi shows. I think she's sort of built a rapport there, and they trust her to work these shows, and she knows how it works. I think that's the main reason for it, to be honest. She's worked quite a few of them. So yeah, I think Rhea just wins comfortably and moves on to the next challenger for Money in the Bank. Gunther versus Mustafa Ali is an interesting one. Not in terms of who's going to win, but just in terms of the match. I really like Ali getting this opportunity. I think Gunther's going to chop him up. Ali's going to sell it brilliantly. And I think Gunther wins, obviously, but it'll be a great match, I think. They might not go that long, but I think what we will get will be really good. So I'm looking forward to that. Gunther wins. Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes might be the hardest match to predict on the card. Certainly up there. Yeah, very interesting one. Cody obviously won their first match. Brock beat him up, and then he kind of escaped the Kimura and pinned Brock obviously they've been building up in the injury angle on the build-up, breaking his arm, Cody's arm, so he's not 100% going into the match, and that makes me think that Brock's winning here. You either have Cody overcome Brock Lesnar injured, which makes Brock look a bit weak, or you have Brock win here, and then we get potentially a third match at Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. And I think that is where I'm going to go. I think it could go either way, though. I'm going to go for Brock. I think Brock wins this one and they have a third match. That's my gut feeling. I wouldn't mind seeing Brock because we're going to Money in the Bank. I've not seen Brock live and I've not seen Cody live. I'm sure Cody's going to be on the show one way or another if he's in the Money in the Bank match or not. But I wouldn't mind seeing Brock v Cody live, like a big third match with a stipulation. That'd be awesome. So yeah, potentially that, I think. So yeah, Brock wins, and Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa. That's another tough one because Roman Reigns is in it and he doesn't often lose. Solo's been very well protected. So do they win the titles here and take Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens take the titles off them, meaning a short run? I don't think they do. I think Sami and KO retain somehow. I'm not sure who's going to take the fall between Roman and Solo. You could make a really powerful message and have Roman take the fall, with the Usos costing Roman. Obviously, Roman dedicated the match to Afa and Sika. Makes me even more convinced they're going to lose because that plays into it. Obviously, as well, Roman having the tag titles would be silly. With his other two titles, then having two more titles, he doesn't defend his main title. When's he going to defend the tag titles? I just don't see how that can work unless he just drops them straight away and says, I don't even want them. I just wanted to prove to the Usos that I can win. He might do something like that. You wouldn't put it past WWE doing that and having it kind of fits Roman's character to win, dominate, and then just be like, I just wanted to show the Usos how it's done. But realistically, I think the Usos accidentally cost Roman Reigns and Solo Sikoa the match, and that leads to even more dissension in the bloodline and potentially the split of the bloodline by Money in the Bank or SummerSlam. So Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens retain somehow, some way. And then the main event, well, I don't know if it's the main event actually. They're booking they're calling it 3 main events, which I think is silly. The main event's always the last match, but there are 3 main event worthy matches on this with Brock, Cody, Sami and KO versus the Bloodline, and then obviously this match, the World Heavyweight Championship match between Seth Rollins and AJ Styles. I mean, they've had one match before in WWE, Money in the Bank 2019, was absolutely brilliant. I'm expecting another great match between the two. Who's going to win? I'm not 100% sure on this, but it would make sense for them. It's the Raw title. It would make sense. The easy thing to do would just be to put it on the Raw Superstar. Seth deserves it, but AJ deserves it too, He hasn't had a title in a long time. He has only just come back, but Seth has this movie going on. Do they want to put the title on him? I've heard rumours that they're sceptical about it. I think he is going to be around though. One other thing I heard a theory the other day, which I hadn't thought of, which I thought was very interesting, is obviously it's a Raw title, so it's people are saying, well, why would a SmackDown guy win it? But you could have AJ Styles win, and then as part of a trade-off, him and the OC, all of them, including Mia Yim, come over to Raw, and then they're like, well, SmackDown needs someone, and that's how you get Cody over to SmackDown to finish the story. So they basically trade the whole of the OC for Cody. And then Cody goes over to SmackDown and beats Roman at SummerSlam or wherever. That is a way of doing it. And I really like that theory, and I think it's possible. I do. But the video packages they've shown of Rollins, building them up 2 big interviews separated into 4 segments, so much effort put into them, makes me think that Seth's winning. So I'm going to go for Seth Rollins to win the World Heavyweight Championship and become the first champion. Plus, I think he's a great champion to have it, defending it weekly or, all the time on TV and at pay-per-views against loads and loads of people on Raw. So yeah, very interesting. There are my thoughts on those 2 shows. I will be back again, like I say, with Double or Nothing predictions. Probably uploaded by Friday. I'll probably upload this today, which is Thursday. So yeah, tomorrow maybe I'll do the Dynamite one. Follow us on Twitter @RechargeWrestle. Like and subscribe to the channel. That would help us a lot. I've been Fisher, and I will see you soon.